Overall, I am super happy with these changes. And I would say that it's been a New Year's resolution of mine to be on time for like the past 5 years. But this is the first time that it's actually stuck. Welcome to Leaf Notes, the podcast that helps your business take root and grow. I'm Adria Marshall, seasoned business owner and speaker.
And I'm Sydney Mafuka, artist, illustrator, and small business owner.
Join us each week as we take you on a journey through the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. We'll dive into everything from social media strategy to protecting your business.
We'll even answer your burning questions such as, do I need a business plan? Should I form an LLC? Where should I promote my business? And so much more.
Together with our guests, we'll break down these topics into actionable steps, helping you build the business of your dreams.
So whether you're just starting or you're looking to scale, we got you covered.
So go grab your notebooks, your favorite beverage, and cozy up to receive practical insights and inspiration here on Leaf Notes. Let's go make your business dreams a reality. Good days.
Good days. How was your meeting?
My meeting was really good. So you guys, I had my manager's meetings the second Wednesday of every month. We have our manager's meeting. It's really good. We go over our stats from the previous month, metrics, emails, social. Are you reviewing your metrics each month?
I need to.
You need to put it on your calendar.
Yeah.
I think it's on your calendar.
On my calendar.
It's
just not I'm just like, every time it's like, I can just push it off till
Which brings us to this moment.
It brings us to this moment where I have to do December metrics.
Yeah.
I think I have to do November and December metrics.
Oh,
actually.
geez.
Because I was supposed to do one in December that I didn't do.
That's kind of why we're here. One of our topics that we think we can talk about.
Yeah.
Why don't you share?
So pretty much time management doesn't come easy for most people.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the people who have it down probably have certain habits that they've been able to put into place to be like on time, to meet their goals, and so I feel like in this case, none of us are perfect.
Mm-hmm. Here's where I come from. So I'm not great with time management, but I am great with getting my things done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for the most part, if I put something on my planner and I say that I'm going to get it done, I'll get it done that day for the most part. And I prioritize my A's, B's, and C's, whatever. So I'll at least get my overall goal done the day that I want to get done. And more than likely, I'll get the individual tasks done.
Mm-hmm.
But they may not probably are not necessarily within that time slot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want to work on. And then also, I'm just late all the time, although I beat you to this meeting.
You did great this time.
I did great this time, but that was only because I knew what we were going to talk about. And it's not a good look to be late for the meeting on time management.
Yeah, which I was late to the meeting on time management.
Yeah, this has been a New Year's resolution of mine for several years, to the point of where I think last year and the year before, I just didn't even make it a New Year's resolution because I knew that there was no hope for me. This year, my resolution is to be early, which I've been doing pretty good at.
That's good. Were you early to your manager's meeting?
No, I was late. But I was early getting Alex to school, which usually I get her there like right on time.
Yeah.
Like she's running. So I've been early getting her to school.
That's a start.
It's a start. We were early for church.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. So yeah, I'm trying to be early, kind of the shoot for the stars. You'll hit the moons or one or the other. You'll hit one of those planetary objects. So that's kind of the approach that I'm taking, but I know there has to be better tactics. And then when I'm looking at my planner, I mean, I'm a great planner, seriously, better than most. But my problem is that I'm a good executor, but just not within those time slots. Mm-hmm. So for instance, this morning, we did yoga at 8:30-ish, right?
Yeah.
We did good. And then I knew, because I told you that I had a task to complete at 9 o'clock before my manager's meeting. And I knew I had to do it because I planned it yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I knew I had to do it. Mm-hmm. My problem is that, and I had the time to do it. I just didn't feel like doing it. And I was like, I can get it done later. But I know future me is going to be mad that I just didn't go ahead and do it.
Then, yeah.
So I kind of guilted myself. And I went ahead and did most of it. I got most of it done. Mm-hmm. At least I attempted to get it done.
Because starting is always
Starting it's the hardest for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
So I think what I would like for us to do, because I know it's not just me and Sydney. I'm sure you guys are having challenges with this, or some of you all are having challenges with this as well. I want us to maybe investigate some different tactics.
Yeah, because like I feel like so for me,
Mhm.
at least until I'm not sure why, like recently I've been a little bit on a later streak.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's just maybe it's the cold, the winter blues. I don't know. Like something
Yeah.
about like January is just giving slow month. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But normally I don't have an issue with being like early or on time. You
Mhm.
know, I'm actually when I meet with friends, most of the time, there's been like and then the thing is I remember the occasions that I am late. You know, I am very
Yep.
much like that. So
Right.
but most of the time I'm the first one there. I'm early. You
Okay.
know, I think for me, I think the idea of coming up with a plan that works for you is really difficult because like you're a good planner, but I think that's because you're very like self-aware, or that's the way that I think about it. Like you know the way that you work, you're able to like account for how long something will take you to do and
Yeah.
like make into a feasible thing. I
Mhm.
feel like for me sometimes, especially if it's like art stuff, like sometimes it's for me it's unpredictable. You know what I mean? Because let's say I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get these color studies done today, and then I'll have and I'll send them over to a client, and then I'll plan for it to go well. I don't plan for it to not go well. So let's say it doesn't go well, then that means that the other part of the plan, right, the next step is kind of lagged. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes I struggle with a little bit with like the little processes, the steps to get to the end point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'll start off good.
So say that you're doing a commission piece or a piece for somebody. So you'll plan for how long that should take, and you usually get it done within that amount of time.
Usually, because I'll plan like let's say a day to like get sketches done, right?
But you don't plan for if they say that they're gonna be tweaks, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's not part of that same day anyway. So what's the problem?
So let's say this. So on days. So let's say on Monday, Monday is sketch day.
Yep.
Hopefully Wednesday is color study day.
Yeah.
Let's say Friday is we're starting the final day.
Got it. So
right?
you're good with all three of those.
Yeah. So I would, and on their own, like if I was in control of those things, boom, boom, bam. You know what I mean? But when it maybe comes into like working on a project with a client, let's say,
okay,
what if they don't? What if I thought they would be more attentive to their email and respond faster than they do, and I don't get a response? By Wednesday when I was hoping to get. You know what I mean?
Oh, so I plan like for your week,
planning for my week, like so the days are usually like I can get what I plan to get done. But when it's like for me, what I do is like for projects, a lot of times I'll plan backwards.
Yeah.
But sometimes something will fall off the rails.
Got it.
Or like because art is really interesting like that. Sometimes it's not even like a client. Let's say I'm doing a personal project, right? But there's a day where I just cannot get anything out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Accounting for those days where it's just like, you know, not being disappointed in yourself and being like, oh man, I didn't get all these sketches done. I was only able to get one done instead of three.
Yeah.
You know, that I wanted to get done like that. Because I feel like art is so weird. It's like,
got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So what you're saying, I'm hearing you say is that you have two kind of challenges. One is kind of trying to plan for when they're going to respond to you, or you're going to get what you need to finish up the work, right? And then two is if you have multiple things to do on the same day, then that can get kind of blurry, is what you're saying.
Sometimes, yeah. Like sometimes it can get blurry with like, sometimes I work a lot faster than I expect to, right? But then there's other times where maybe a project will take me a little bit longer, you know, and then it's like, okay, I finished this one thing on my task list, but now it's 3 p.m. and we got this whole other list of things to do that I didn't really account for taking as long, right?
Okay, got it. I have some ideas as well. Maybe we share some different ideas throughout the week as we're going to research. But I have a couple ideas, like right now off the top of my head, and I want to jump forward too much. It's funny because like I will have ideas for you, you'll have ideas for me. That's how it's going to go pretty much. But for the one where you're planning for the week and you don't know when they're going to respond, when you send them, I already know the answer to this, but when you send them the draft or whatever it is, you're just like, okay, here you go. Hope you like it. Right?
Yeah.
But you should give them a date where they have to respond by.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah. That's like, yeah.
Yeah. So please give me all feedback by the end of the day on this day. And then still you can plan for a buffer day because they're going to wait until the next day, whatever. So like if it's please give me feedback by Tuesday, you plan to do the revisions on Thursday.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, but what's still tricky is that you don't know what the revisions are going to, I guess you just book the entire day because you don't know what the revisions are going to be
Right.
for you to be able to estimate what you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
So
like,
there's that too.
Yeah. I think what you're saying would be pretty good because then it's like, you know how in classes they have like syllabi, you know what I mean? What if before each project it was like, okay, here's a syllabus of like what we can expect the process to look like. So it's not, so number one, then it kind of benefits the client as far as like they know what to expect.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like you said, they could have like that deadline, like, please respond within 48 hours so I can, you know what I mean? And then maybe within that, like, I think you gave me some advice before when it came to time management, which was like allow more time to do the thing that you think will only take an hour. Maybe
apply that to myself.
Yeah, maybe put 2 hours, even if it won't take 2 hours, because then you'll feel good about being like ahead of schedule. Like there's nothing wrong with being ahead of schedule. But God forbid something takes 2 hours to do, like you already made time for that, so you're not late with that. I don't know. I feel like that's some good advice.
I think so too.
So maybe combining the two would help with like client work. And I think also just being more realistic with my planning and more honest about like the iffiness that can come with that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Would also help with just like my personal work too.
Agreed. So maybe when we are, because I do my planning on Sunday. Do you do yours on Sunday too?
No, so I usually do mine on Friday because I know kind of like fresh off the bat, like what I got done that week. Normally I like to have my weekends to just be
kind of chill.
Yeah, like I just don't look at anything.
Yeah, so let's do this together then on Friday then to explore some ideas. I think you're spot on for yours. For me, I'm not quite sure. I did want to do some research. So we can do some research to see what will make me get places a little bit earlier. And then also the buffer as well would help me too. Because if I didn't have to start right at 9, I could kind of chill out a little bit after yoga. Then I would have been more likely to get that task done.
Yeah. Is it sometimes for you like having things back to back to back really it's the iffy part?
Yeah, it is. So, okay, that's cool. And then also your second idea about when you have multiple things to get done on the same day. And I gave you this advice before too, about better breaking down your tasks instead of just do the thing.
Yes. Yeah. I need to do better at doing that for sure.
So what I want you to do is come up with a template for each thing. Here are the 5 steps that I need to go through. And then when you get ready to do your planning, you actually plan for the 5 steps instead of just planning for
the one big step.
The one big thing that keeps you up to 2. Because at dinner, you're like, okay, I'm living until 2 a.m. because you're trying to finish that one big blob of stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That might look simple.
Yeah.
But like,
we need to break it down.
Yeah.
So come up with a template. Just like what's been really helpful for me is that like when we have a sale, having my sale checklist so I don't, there's not just this big blob of get ready for a sale, but I know exactly which steps I need to do, exactly how long they should take. That's super helpful.
Yeah. I think that'll be good because like you said, like with each thing, there is a little bit of like a miniature.
It's like a template.
Yeah, like you said.
Yeah.
It's like a little template.
Cool. All right. So we'll do that. Both of us do that together. So hopefully you guys, we're going to, between me and Sydney with her 2 time management issues and my 2 time management issues too, we'll help cover what your time management issues could be too and provide some potential solutions.
And if you're good at time management,
please give us in the chat.
Please. It's hard. It's hard. Do you ever struggle with putting too much on your day?
Yes.
Because I heard because I feel like that's something that a lot of people struggle with. And I think like it's really interesting. I think a lot of times we put a lot of things on our task because like for me, when I accomplish all of those things, there is that dopamine hit of like, I did that today. You know what I mean? Like I was really on top of my stuff.
Yeah.
So I think also it's kind of normalizing what is still productive.
Yep. I think so too.
Because sometimes you don't need to have like a fully packed day to make a really big impact in your schedule and to like get the important things done. And to have a successful day.
I think you're right. And what I see, so one thing that I've done, I'll show you guys a screenshot too of what I've been doing a better job of is putting every day before I plan for my week, my gym, my lunch, and then dinner and family time. So I have those on there. So now it forces me to just put stuff in between. And it forces me to really think about, am I really going to work after family and dinner time?
Yeah.
Or not? But if not, it makes me kind of put stuff in those places.
It's really cool because that's just like setting boundaries. And some people, setting boundaries is just saying, I'm not going to work past 7 p.m.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
whatever your boundaries are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like putting those on the calendar. That's been really helpful. I started that this week.
That's really good.
I had already been doing the lunch. I've been doing lunch for a while. I've been doing yoga for a minute too. But now that we're going to the gym consistently, because like yoga I would miss here or there, but now that we're going to the gym consistently, then it really means something having to get on there versus just a race and get out every day. I didn't go to yoga, but we're actually going to the gym pretty frequently.
Yeah.
And we always have family and dinner time, but putting that on there to where it's a hard stop for family and dinner time, which is good.
Yeah, for sure. Because it can be easy to just be like sucked into a task and to like next thing you look up and then it's 9 o'clock.
Yep.
What I was going to also ask is like something that I've heard a lot about productivity is like knowing when you are the most productive and when you're not the most productive. And like for me, I found out like I feel like the mornings and the late nights are when I'm like the most productive. But that afternoon time, I'm talking about like past 2 to maybe like 6.
You're not productive.
I'm not like that needs to be either like a lot of times if I say if I have hoodie orders, like that'll be a time where I'm like doing things that don't require my brain as much and don't require me to be as present, so I can be like, okay, I'm gonna put on a podcast and just make these hoodies. That's so mindless, right? Yep. But I'm still being productive. So I think it's also a good thing to think about like the different tasks that we're doing every day
and like their schedule though.
Yeah, because I think like meetings and stuff or like things that take a lot of brain power for me, it's really good to do those in the morning after the gym when I'm like I just had breakfast, like I'm ready to start the day versus like in the afternoon when I'm already feeling kind of laggy. It's like I just had lunch, like I'm kind of getting the itis.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
When do you find you're the most productive?
Opposite of you. I'm mostly productive between that 2 p.m. and 6 p.m.
No way. Oh my gosh.
I'm not productive in the mornings at all. I wake up, why is
again? We're here again.
I am most productive between 2 and 6. And I can really crank out some good stuff after dinner because I have a firm deadline going to bed.
Yeah.
So I can, like last night when I decided out, okay, I need to do some work after dinner. I gave myself a hard stop at 11. It seeped over to 11:45, but I got a lot of stuff done.
Yeah.
So I can do that.
Okay.
But mornings is not it for me.
That's so interesting. You know, it's so funny because from the outside looking in, like I just think you're productive all the time. Like I'm like,
yeah,
you know, I see you just at your desk, you know, being a busy bee.
Yeah,
tippy tapping.
So I work all the time, that's for sure. But like in the flow, you know, like when you're in the flow, where you're just cranking it out and you're getting good stuff done. Those are the hours for me.
Yeah. So cool. Wow.
In the morning, I'm not in flow. Like any little thing will distract me.
So I think like that could also play a part in like, I mean, you're really good at planning, but for me, planning my schedule
accordingly.
Yeah.
For me, I would rather have all my meetings in the morning also, because I can talk all day and, you know, write things down, take notes from meetings. That's fine. But I'm talking about like the actual execution time.
Yeah.
It's that 2 to 6.
super cool. So yeah, like maybe we can kind of play that to apply
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
because then also with you being early, if you have all that time in the morning where you're like, boom, I'm
Let
in
me get the
meeting
meetings out the
mode.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then you can take time in the afternoon to get lost
this-
in your sauce and not
Yeah.
have to worry about being
That's a
late.
really good point. Maybe I move all my meetings to the morning.
Yeah, or try like just
Yeah,
slowly
and
try to,
see.
yeah, and see how that goes
Yeah,
for you.
that's a really good, it's a good idea.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
good.
So we can explore these and see how it goes and keep you guys updated. I'm excited.
I'm excited
This is
too.
good stuff.
We're about to become our better version of ourselves in 2024.
So let's talk about our time management / planning issues. First, you and then me.
Okay.
So what are yours?
So I think mine are not knowing how long things are actually going to take.
Okay. Task planning.
Yeah, like getting just an accurate time. So that sometimes leads to another problem, which is putting too much on my. I think those are the main ones. Yeah, I think those are the main ones because like that kind of covers the commissions thing too, right? Not knowing how long that's really going to take and not being able to plan accurately.
Got it.
Yeah.
And for me, mine is being late. And I would say a bonus one for me is, and maybe this is okay, right? So I have, like, if you were to look at my task list right here, you'll see how there are a couple tasks there's a task from Tuesday that I didn't get done yet. And there are a couple tasks from Wednesday that I didn't get done. I got everything done yesterday. Here we are here. And already, like, I didn't get Jordan's action items done, but I will. Yeah. But anyhow, if you go back to the previous week, you'll see that I do eventually get everything done, but it may not be during these time frames or even on that day. But even if I have to allocate my weekend, I will get the task done. Like very rarely, because what I do, I do the Franklin Covey A's, B's, and C's. So I make sure my A's are on here. And then I made like Jordan's action items. I believe that's actually a B. Yep, there it is down here. That's a B. So I even have room for like a little bit of B's. My whole point is that maybe that's okay. I kind of use my week as my boundary rather than the day, even though I may plan to get it done that day.
It's like kind of like these are your weekly.
It's kind of like my weekly goals.
So you see the issue. So the thing is, because I don't know if I really see that as like
a problem.
Because it's like you're getting your A stuff done, like the main things done, right?
Yeah.
And you do get your tasks done by the end of the week. So I don't think that's necessarily.
I don't know if that's a problem. And I get my game changer done. So I have my game changer up here or my top priority task, and I get that done.
Yeah, because it just seems like looking at your day, you have. Like a lot of people, I know everybody works differently, but a lot of people say you want like maybe 3 main tasks that day. Like, you definitely got like, I'm not sure these are even including the meetings that you have. You know what I mean? You definitely have more than 3 things that you're planning on getting done that day.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, even though you are getting everything done, do you feel like it does stress you out knowing that there's other things that you still need to get done that's on that
week? Does stress me. What you mean on that day?
Yeah, and that how it's rolling over.
Yeah, I don't like for it to roll over, but there's some things what I'll do before I call it quits at the end and see have my dinner and family time. What I'll do before I start dinner is look at my task list and see, okay, like, do I really need to take these photos and get this UPC code done that day, or is it okay if it rolls? I'll have a self-check.
Yeah.
And if it, like you see on Monday, I actually did go back after dinner family and do email and social media because I needed to get that done. But I'll have a check to see if it's okay if it rolls over or not. And then if it is okay, then I'll just let it roll. But I will get this done before the end of the week. So maybe that's not that big of a deal.
Well,
go ahead.
What I think is like, maybe you are still putting too much on your days, even though you're able to like, because you're a very like disciplined, productive person. So even though you're able to get all this stuff done by the end of the week, You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I do wonder if there's a way that you could like
get
more accurately plan your days to where you get everything that you need to get done, but it's not like too much, you know?
I don't know because like I think I'm pretty accurate with my. Well, one thing is true. Some of my A's are not real. Like the 2-ounce UPC, the 2 8-ounce UPCs.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really an A.
But you put it as an A.
But I put it as an A. Maybe I'm lying to myself and saying and calling things that I really want to get done an A that aren't really an A's. Because if it was really an A, but see, I'm saying they're A's for the week, not A's for the day. Mm-hmm. But still, if this was really an A, I'll be a lot more stressed about it. But it's not like I planned. I know in my head that I really have to get the matcha and banana photos done because we're out of the 16 ounces now and we're really selling those. So I need to get my retailers those pictures.
Yeah.
But I know that these 2 8-ounce UPC codes, we're not really ready to start selling those on Amazon yet. So I don't really have to have that done. So I know in the back of my head that this could roll over to next week.
Yeah, like some things don't necessarily have to get done this week, right?
Yeah, so I think that would have helped.
Because, and the reason why I feel like this will connect to you being, to your being early thing, is if you have like your 3 big tasks that you need to work on, right?
Yeah.
I feel like then you're able to organize those better without going to like, let's say you're doing those in the afternoon and you leave early for your meetings instead of being like, I want to get everything done and then make up for the day before.
Agreed.
That's how I feel like it ties together.
I think so too. So I'm going to be, one of my takeaways is going to be, Adria, is be honest with prioritizing.
Because it's admirable that you get so much done.
Exactly. And A does not equal really want to get this done.
It's more of like this is a priority.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and if you have room for that really want to
get
it
done. Then it's
fine. Yeah.
But see, that could have slid until Friday where I obviously have, and that's how my weeks usually go to. I'll end up on Friday having a lot more time. It's like an overflow day, but it's because some of those things really did need to get done.
Yeah.
So, yep. I like that idea. Also, I like the idea that we had talked about too, with me knowing that I'm mostly productive in the afternoon. So to get all my meetings scheduled in the morning.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the game changer. So even then, like, let's say that some of these tasks don't take as long as you expect them to. At least in the afternoon, you're in, you have no meetings, so you're in that constant flow state to continue to work if you choose to.
Yep, my flow equals afternoons. Okay, those are good action items already. Sweet.
I think those are good for you.
Those are really good for me. And then the last one's being late.
Well, won't that help? I feel like these things will help.
Well, I think it will help, but also I think I was reading, so let me share this with you guys. This article that I was reading about the reason behind being late and stuff. So let's just take a quick perusal, all right?
Yeah, I'm interested.
Let's do it. So this lady, Diana DeLonzer, looks like, she wrote a book called Never Be Late Again. And this resonates with me. It didn't matter what time I got up. I could get up at 6 and still be late for work at 9.
Oh.
So, and that definitely resonates with me. And most people really hate being late and have tried many times to fix it. So let's get into this. So those are her studies, blah, blah, blah. Let's get into the good stuff. What kind of late are you? All right. So let's see. Are you always late by the same amount of time or does it vary? Is it always the same? To me, I'm always late by maybe at 5 to 7 minutes. Always. Okay, cool. So if it's always the same, that's indicative of a psychological hurdle. Maybe you're afraid. That is so true. I'm afraid of downtime. I try to squeeze in. Why are you pitying me?
Because that's so sad. Why are you afraid of downtime? Sorry,
I'm afraid of downtime. I feel like I have to fit as much as humanly possible into my day. Even if it's not humanly possible. Why is this lady inside my life?
And that's why you're overpacking like your A's.
So
oh my God. I'm sorry. That's why.
Okay, quit feeling fucking sorry for me. Do not edit that out. And let's keep going. All right. So let's get more into me. There's 7 types of late people. Let's get into it. And why am I going to buy this book? The deadliner enjoys the rush of the last minute, and I do.
Do you like okay, so question. So like when you drive somewhere, you're like, it's gonna take me 15 minutes to get there. Do you get really excited when you make it like exactly?
Yes, I do. Okay. She thrives on urgency and often claims to work best under pressure. Sometimes it's difficult for deadlines to motivate unless it's a crisis. Rushing from here to there serves as a way to relieve boredom. So I would say I'm going to write down these things. So I am a deadliner for sure. Let's keep reading. The producer, which I think I also am, needs to get as much done in as little time as possible. She feels better about herself when she's checking things off. My God, that is true.
So do.
Producers tend to engage in magical thinking, consistently underestimating the amount of time their task will take. They hate wasting time, absolutely. So they schedule themselves to make use of every minute of the day. It's like she saw my planner. Let's pull it up again. I mean, if that's not trying to maximize every minute of the day, I don't know what it is.
It so is, Mom. Like, you have to plan your lunches. It's not even like, I'm hungry, I'm going to go eat. You're like, because if you don't plan it, it's not going to happen until like 5 p.m.
Yeah, so absolutely producer. All right, let's read the other ones.
Wow.
Isn't this great?
This is so cool.
The absent-minded professor is easily distracted. Is this you? Distractibility is thought to have a genetic basis and can range from full-blown attention deficit disorder to innocent flakiness. Absent-minded professors often lose track of time, misplace car keys, and forget appointments.
Yes. No, that's so me. But I have to write things down in my planner, my Google Calendar, like different places. So I'm like, remember, you have this meeting. And I also have to like try really hard to keep it in my head too, like back of my mind. And I think that's something that can sometimes stress me out too. Because I feel like I don't ever, like, let's say we have like this meeting at 11:30, right? Yep. And I wake up at 9. I'm going to feel like I don't have enough time. It's like, so I feel like we're different. Like, you try to squeeze it all in. Yes. But I like, because I get so distracted.
And so you don't even start working on something?
So I have to push myself to, but there is that bit of anxiety. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm like, okay, I gotta get up. I gotta go wash my face. I gotta go like do these things. And then I have to think of what can I possibly get done in this time? I'm already thinking about this meeting. I don't want to miss.
And you saw me like it was 7 minutes before the meeting. I was rushing out to go right, do all this, squeezing all these little things into it.
Yeah, it's crazy how there's like the opposite, because then I feel like if I do get lost into a task, then I will forget about like the meeting. So there's like,
and it's like I'm gonna beat the clock. Like I can hear it. I'm supposed to be here at 11:30, but I'm hearing my classic 11:32. Right? Yeah. Right. I almost won.
And it's so funny because when you left, I was like, she's so gonna be late. But it wasn't like, I just knew. I was like, yeah, she's gonna be a little late.
And it's not ever a lot late. It's like right there. Okay.
Like 2 minutes.
So here we go. So I wrote down yours. You're the absent-minded professor. I'm the deadline. I'm the producer.
Okay, what's this?
Right, here we go. People typically identify with more than one lateness personality. Bing. The other 4 are the rationalizer who never fully admits to her lateness. That's Jason.
Right.
Why are we? Yes.
Yes.
The indulger who generally lacks self-control. Is that him as well?
I feel like the indulger, what it sounds like, is someone who just admits that they're always late and doesn't want to do anything to change it. You know what I mean?
Maybe. The evader who tries to control feelings of anxiety and low self-esteem by being late.
Oh.
That's giving.
That's different. I don't know. That's because here's the thing, like, I have anxiety, but being late is going to give me more anxiety. So I really try not to be like late. Right. That'll affect my mood, but that's such a different way of people approaching it.
We're going to have to get this book. And the rebel who arrives late to assert power, usually men. Okay.
Oh, that's funny. Like, like someone who could be like, I could imagine like a CEO doing that.
That is the Kanye West line.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. That you should be honored by my lateness. That I would even show up, right? Okay, here we go.
Oh, because there is that. That's really funny because, like, with that line, and then also just the idea of being fashionably late.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Fashionably late, exactly.
Like, you're late, but you're making a statement. You look good.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, what is making you late? Watch yourself carefully to identify what's making you late. Producers often schedule more tasks, chores, and appointments that they can get done in a day without a Star Trek transporter and a time machine.
That's you.
Perhaps you suffer from what Morrison calls the one more task syndrome. I think this is a technical fix for psychologically driven behavior. You feel you have to be productive, so you shove one more thing in. And I do that all the time before you have to leave. Like, I was late for I knew I was it was 8:55. I had an appointment at the bank at 9:00. I know it takes me at least 10 minutes to get there, and I still fixed an issue on social media while I was printing something out, knowing I was already late.
So what is up with that? Like, it takes you, you're past that threshold to get there on time, but you still picked up something to do, even though that thing could have been, it wasn't like something that would help prepare for the bank meeting, right?
So my thought was that, because I know that Demara, who does my social media, that she is productive around, she works part-time and she's really productive in the mornings. And then my thought was that, and I know I could only fix that issue on my desktop. And I thought that before I got back from the bank that she was going to message me. And, and then, so she's going to lose time. That was my thought. But would it have been the worst thing? We just say, I'll fix it when I get back home? No.
You're just an overachiever.
Yeah. Okay. The one more thing is so true. DeLonzer says many late people, including herself, have an aversion to leaving the house. So that's not me. And suddenly feel the need, this may be you, and suddenly feel the need to straighten the blinds or open the mail when they should be heading out the door.
So for me, I don't know. That one, it depends, because I don't leave the house that much. So when I know, like, when I leave the house, I know I have to. Yeah. So it's not
that's not really
me. I feel like I definitely am the type of person, like, if I'm in the mindset, this is why I feel like I definitely am, what is this, the absent-minded. Because I do relate to that, but I feel like I'm just like that in my own space when maybe there's a task that I'm afraid to do. You know what I mean? So, like, I'll be like, oh, well, before I get this task done, look at what's going on all around here. I could do things that don't really need to be done.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if that relates to that.
Okay. Why is she calling me all the way out? A note to late leavers: texting that you're 5 minutes behind doesn't absolve you or buy you extra time for one last thing.
Oh, do you do that? So it's not really like you're 5 minutes behind. It's like you're 10 minutes behind because you're about to go do something else. No, I'm just saying, because I was going to say, like, I do think it is really respectful to let people know that you're going to be a little bit late.
I'll often lie. I'll say I'm 5 minutes behind and I'm really 10 minutes behind. Or if I do say I'm going to be 5 minutes late, then I'll still try to squeeze something else in.
So now I have a question. So if you're, because this is, being late is actually, if I have a meeting with someone, it actually is a pet peeve of mine, or was. Like, I feel like I'm getting better at, like, giving people grace.
Because I'm always late.
Because you're always late. You're really, like, training me to have patience with lateness. And it's not just you. Like, a lot of people, like, I think most people that I meet with, besides, like, a good few, they're always late. I'm always there before them, just chilling. So, I think for me, I care a lot about what people think. So, like, when you go to, like, meetings and stuff, do you really care about people's...
Why you call me out?
No, I'm just
in front of the world.
Oh, no, it's a question. Everybody should be thinking about this internally. You know what I mean? Because, like, because I think, it's not great to be a people pleaser. But I think in this case, when it comes to lateness, like, I hate being late because it gives me so much anxiety because I don't like my time being wasted, and therefore I don't want to waste anybody else's time. Right. And I don't know what they have going on after this. You know what I mean?
It's disrespectful. Yeah. That's what another article I was reading before this one said, which did not resonate with me. I'm like, I know.
Oh, it felt like lecturing.
It did. So I was like, but it's like, but it didn't. This one's helping me more because it's helping me understand why I'm doing it. Just telling me that it's disrespectful. Like, okay, that's just a fact, but that's not going to help me solve the problem. Like, yeah, that's made me feel guilty about it, but that's not going to help.
Yeah, because this is giving you reasons. They're just like, okay, like you just want to get this other task done. It has a little bit more empathy.
It does.
For the person.
It does. But yeah, it's calling me out, which is good. So I like this right here that it says, allow us to reimagine an old adage, stop yourself, drop what you're doing, and roll on out of there.
Yeah. It can be hard too, because again, you get into a flow state.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I'm getting so much done, and there's like, there is that dopamine hit, I feel like.
It is.
When you're getting a lot of things that you want to get done.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. Overcoming lateness. Yes, let's get to it. Transforming yourself is a big task. Make deadlines non-negotiable. Like promise to yourself. Start with something easily attainable, like vow not to hit snooze. I don't do that. I get up. If you can't commit to small inconvenience like that, you're not ready to tackle your current late. So I can do that. Before jumping in, try an experiment. Get somewhere on time just once to see how it feels. Note your reaction. Are you relieved or anxious, proud or bored as hell? Then work your way up from there. When I do get somewhere, it's so funny. I'm so entitled. Because when I do get somewhere on time and the other person's not ready, I'm like, okay, why are you late? Like, was that like?
Yeah, like you're like,
yes,
I'm here.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, step 1, relearn to tell. So was that not step 1? Oh, this is just like
a summary.
Step 1, relearn to tell time. Every day for 2 weeks, write down each task you have to do and how long you think. So I do that. I didn't do it this week in my planner, but when I do my block planning, I usually do. Okay. So usually, let me go back to my planner. I didn't do it this week because I already kind of had in my head, I knew how long things were going to take. But what I usually do when I do my A's, B's, and C's is I write down the amount of time, and that's how I slot them in. So let's see. Time yourself as you go through your list: showering, dressing, and breakfast, driving to work, picking up dry cleaning, and write the actual time that's your estimate. Many people have certain time frames to mention their brains aren't realistic. I think that's a good idea. Even though I have down how much time I think something will take, that's a great freaking point. What I'm going to do next week, I love this so much. What I'm going to do next week when I do my block planning and I write down my estimate, when I actually do the task, I'm going to see how long it actually took for me to take it. Yeah. And then use that as I plan in the future.
I think that'll help me with my thing too.
That'll help you with your thing too.
Because like not knowing how long something takes, like I'll be able to actually time how long does it take me to get like these sketches done.
Exactly.
And like things like that. So that's something I'm going to do as well.
Yes, write down actual time. I am. It's a blessing and a curse. It's mostly a blessing. Yes. Okay. All right. This is going to be great.
So I like that. And I'm going to do it. You know what I'm going to do it for too? Like all of that, where it was like how long it takes to get ready in the morning.
Yeah.
Like literally all that because, and just like the ideal morning too, because I like to feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You know what I'm going to do? Because I neglect my self-care time at night.
Same.
You know, I'll avoid, I will do my whole routine of washing my face, brushing and flossing, taking my vitamins, and what I'll do is I'll say just take too long to do in the morning. I'll just forego the whole thing. But if I knew that it takes 13 minutes or whatever, that would be different.
That's not so bad.
Yes.
And then it's just like you'll feel good about like taking care of yourself.
Yeah. This is so good. I'm glad we're doing this one. And nighttime routine.
And the thing is, I like that it wasn't just like for a work task. It's just like for your life in general. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else is next.
Let's see what else is next. Isn't this great? Many people have certain time frames to mention their brains that aren't realistic. Just because 5 years ago you made it work in 12 minutes flat does not mean it takes 12 minutes to get to work. Speak the truth, woman. Step 2, never plan to be on time. And this is what I plan. This is my resolution. Late people always aim to arrive to the minute, leaving no room for emergencies. Say you work at 9 a.m., use them 12 minutes, blah, blah, blah. Don't chance it. Plan to arrive early. And that was my resolution, but I'm going to do better with that. Because if I had planned to arrive early to the bank, then that would have been different.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to plan to
and it'll feel good because then you'll realize maybe you have time for a game of chess. Maybe you have time for, to do some of your work on your phone or answer a couple emails. And
exactly.
fulfill that inner task.
See, and that's what this says. And you could have written
Oh.
this. Welcome the wait. If the thought of getting anywhere ahead of time freaks you out, and it does, I'm like, what am I going to do? Because I'm trying to shove stuff in. Plan an activity to do in the interim. If I get to bank early, then I have time for a game of chess.
Yeah.
Bring a magazine, call a friend, go over a schedule, make the activity specific and compelling so you'll be motivated to get there early. That is so brilliant. So I plan to be at the bank 15 minutes ahead of time, then plan what I'm going to do with that 15 minutes. Oh my goodness, I'm going to get this book so good.
And it's going to be so good because, like, let's say you took the time to, like, answer emails. That takes time from, like, the nighttime that you would have been going through your emails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it still can, like, benefit
you. This is great. It's Sister Lozer. What's her name? I love her. You guys got to get this book. What's her name again?
And then we can also include the link in the notes.
Yeah, for sure.
People to read.
Where is she? DeLonzer. What's her first name? Diana. Diana, man.
She did this.
You did this.
And in a way that doesn't make us feel bad about
right.
Herself. That's so good.
Also, whoever wrote this article, too, because they really are just summarizing it well. Okay, so got it there. Beautiful. Finally, if you have a friend or a family member that's always late, remember that it's not about you. Tricking her by saying something starts half an hour earlier doesn't work. She'll eventually catch on, and scolding her won't make you feel better about her lateness. Yep. Try this. Every time your friend is late by 15 minutes or more, she pays for dessert or something like that.
Yeah, holding them accountable.
All right.
That was a good article.
It's a great article. So again, let's put a link to the article. Make a note of this. We're going to link the article and this book. Let's see, Never Be Late Again. All right, cool. Yeah, let's go to Amazon, Never Be Late Again, and see what the book looks like so we can show you guys. Never Be Late Again. Loving it. And I'm going to download this is it right here. Never Be Late Again. 7 Cures for the Punctually Challenge. I am here for it, Diana.
The tips are so good. Even the ones just summarized. So
I'll get on my Kindle. I am downloading this on my Kindle like right now. So good. And the ratings are good too, rightfully so. Are we good?
I feel like we're
So
good.
do we want to summarize? Let's summarize.
All right. So you let me know should I go first? Or
Yeah, you go first.
So I found out not only because there was actually okay. First, let me get my thoughts together.
Yeah.
So I am the absent-minded progressor. So I get distracted.
Professor.
Professor.
Yeah.
And so I get distracted really easily when it comes to being late and stuff like that. And so something that will really help me is like tracking how long it actually takes me to get all of my tasks done. Because like if I'm able to be like on average for me to get my sketches done, it takes me like 3 hours. I'll be able to really block in maybe 4 hours or something like that to really help make sure I'm able to stay on track with that. And so one of my action items is not only to do that for like my work task, but to do it for my personal tasks too. So I'm not like, because I feel like I am actually late a lot, but I'm like I mentioned to you earlier, it's like I'm not late when it comes to other people. You know what I mean? So I think I still am working on this relationship with myself.
You are, because you're late for yourself. That's why you end up working at 2 a.m.
Yes, I'm late for myself. You're like the opposite. You're like not late for yourself for the most part.
I don't care about other people.
Yeah. So like I think it's just also because, in school or like when you're getting your first job or something, it's very like ingrained, like be early. You know what I mean? So I think because I'm like, I don't want to come off this way towards other people. I care about it. But when it comes to working for myself, I think it's also like treating myself like with respect too. You know what I mean? So I think being able to block in and know, okay, if I want to start work at like 10 every day, but I also want to fit in the gym, how long does it take me to get my morning routine done, to shower after the gym, to, like all these things? So I can really accurately like plan my day, and it'll really help with my anxiety too. So
awesome.
Yeah.
This is great. I mean, you have a follow-up later to show
how we plan.
Right. We should do that.
I think
you do your planning. Yeah, we should do it today.
So what I want to do is that, because I had an idea in my head, on Monday or Tuesday, I want to it'll be a lot of work, but I want to vlog my whole day, or the steps I went during my day. Be like, okay, this is the time that I woke up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I'm about to get ready to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Okay, this is how much time it took for me to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like really like.
Right.
Because I feel like Tuesday's a really light day for me. You know what I mean? To where I can really like experiment and see how like normal things really do take me.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I think that's a great idea, and I think also you said that you do your planning on Friday. Today's Friday.
Yeah.
Are you ready to do your planning now, or no, not yet? Me, I prefer to do it towards the end of the day when I've got a chance to get my things done.
Yeah, so maybe what I'll do is I'll when I get my planning done, I'll do a little vlog of how.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna do that today too. I'm gonna do a vlog of how I plan today, and I'm going to incorporate some of these things too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, is that good for you?
Yeah.
Can I go for mine?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, and I have all the action items, that's fine. So the first one is to be honest when I prioritize, and A does not, so I prioritize my tasks, A's, B's, and C's. A's have to get done. B is what I really want to get done. C does not have to get done for the week. And I do catch myself, as you guys saw, sliding a B into an A. So my first action item is an A does not equal what I really, really want to get done. An A has to be what has to get done. That's my first action item. My second action item is to schedule as many meetings in the morning as possible instead of the afternoon, because I get into my flow in the afternoons and I hate mornings. So that works. Next, just like you, Sydney, is to, when I do my block planning and I estimate the time, as I go through the week, I'm going to measure the amount of time that it actually takes and then use that data to feed into the subsequent weeks. So I love that. And my nighttime routine. Same thing for my personal time. Mostly for me, it's my nighttime routine, which is what I tend to skip. So I'm going to measure my nighttime routine. I'll do that tonight. Then is plan to arrive early, and in combination with the next one is to plan a task to do with my early time buffer. And preferably if it's a fun activity like playing chess or something like that would kind of motivate me to get there early so I can squeeze in.
You have a little bit of time. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I think it's a good idea. I think there was one of your tasks I think I wanted to add to mine. It was
so be honest and prioritize and schedule meetings in the morning.
Yes, I think I want to also like, because we were talking about like the times that we're the most productive. I think I also want to like make sure I keep that into consideration when it comes to like the way that I schedule my week too. Yeah,
I think I'm gonna have all my meetings before 12.
I think I'll do good if I'm able to, honestly, if I can get, and you know how I mentioned I'm most productive like in the mornings and then like the middle of the afternoon, that's like a lull time where I can't really use my brain too much. But then like at night again, I'm able to get into that flow state again. So I think just like maybe it means waking up earlier and getting most of my stuff done in the mornings, you know, or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. Awesome. This is great. Yay. Cool. All right. So we'll be back with vlogs to show you guys how we actually plan for next week.
Yeah.
So exciting. Hey, you guys. I am excited to be able to plan with you guys for the week and to put the action items that we discussed into action. So one of the first things that I had to do was to time my nighttime routine. And what I found really interesting about this is that in my head, I thought my nighttime routine was going to take 15, 20 minutes. And that's why I would often just punt on the whole thing. Like I just do it in the morning. But in actuality, it only took 6 minutes. So that was eye-opening because now there's legit no reason for me to ever skip my nighttime routine because it's only 6 minutes long. So that's pretty amazing. So that's one thing that I did, and that's cool. Now, when I'm going to plan for next week, I'm going to make sure that I make a note to time the actual task when I'm doing it. And that way, for the subsequent weeks, I will have a better idea of how much time to estimate for that particular task or for a task that's similar in size. So I'm going to do that. Also, if I have any meetings or appointments, I'm going to plan to arrive 15 minutes early, which will give me time to play a game of chess, which is super exciting. That's a good motivator.
Also, looking at my notes, when I'm prioritizing my A's, B's, and C's, I'm going to make sure that my A's are things that actually need to get done that week, not things that I really, really want to get done that week. Because that's going to help to eliminate stress. And then finally, something that I already did, I changed my hours for my Calendly so that people can only schedule meetings with me in the morning. Because as Sydney and I discussed, I tend to get into my flow in the afternoons. So it's pretty easy for me to have meetings in the morning and to gab away, take my notes, make note of my action items, and then be able to grind those out later that afternoon or another afternoon. But having my meetings in the morning is going to be really cool. So I am excited about that. So you guys see, I use a digital planner, and this is my planner for last week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and transfer all of the items that I did not finish this week over to next week. And I'm going to make a note to, like I said, to actually time the task next week. So I'm going to make a note of that. And I'm going to do what I usually do. I didn't do it this week, but I usually do estimate, that's how I time block. So I estimate how long each task will be and slot it into the available time. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back and show you guys what that looks like. I pushed the task over from the previous week that did not finish onto this week. And if you notice under this week's focus, I made a note that I'm going to be 15 minutes early to my meetings. And these are 2 meetings and appointments that are outside of my house. I don't usually have trouble with the ones that are inside the house. And I'm going to time my task. So you'll see that I've done what I usually do, which is I estimate each task. But this time, as I go through the week, I'm going to time them to see how close I am to how long they actually take. And then also what I did, which was eye-opening also, is that I really examined the priority of the task. So what I noticed that last week, I didn't have any C's. I made everything either hair on fire, A, has to get done, or B. And that's not true. That was not true, which is why some tasks fell over, because obviously they did not really have to get done. I just really wanted them to get done. So this week, I was a lot more thoughtful when I went through my tasks and prioritized them. And I only made the ones that actually have to get done A's. And then the ones that I would really like to get done, made those B's. And then I was honest, and a lot of those B's that I had were C's and can go onto my tasks that I have for my C's, which is when I have time, I'm going to do these things. So now I figure I'll take you guys along with me, and I'll show you how I block plan. I kind of showed this in the planning video that we did earlier this year, but I thought this would be cool to show you exactly how it works again. So let's see. So tomorrow, I know that I'm gonna have to take some time to answer emails and do social since it's the weekend. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plan to do that in the morning. So my car's getting washed there. I don't have anything to do with that. So I'm gonna plan, and I'll be honest, and start my day at 10 o'clock because I really don't do well starting it before then. So I'm going to answer emails here, and I'm going to do social media here. And I think I'm going to color that pink since those are tasks. Okay, great. So do that. Then let's see. Then tomorrow I have a bunch of EcoBeta meetings, lunch, EcoBeta. After that, I can probably fit in a couple of tasks there. So let's see. So A's are reviewing Corey's resume. I need to do that. And to schedule interviews, I can do that tomorrow. So we'll do that. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break. Then here, I'm going to review Corey's resume. And I think I give myself an hour to do that. Let's see. Yes, and then schedule interviews for an hour. So let's see. I'm going to put reviewing his resume like right in here for an hour. And then I'm going to schedule interviews here. And those are tasks. So let's make those pink. Okay, cool. So tomorrow I should get rid of those two. Then need to deliver those gifts bags. And I said 3 hours. That's about right. So let me say I'm going to do that. That's fine. I'll do that from 10 until I don't want to interfere with my lunch. So I'm going to do that from 9 until 12. That's fine. Okay. Let's make that a little bit bigger to encompass all that time. Wish I could tilt it, but that's okay. All right. So we'll deliver those gift bags there. Perfect. Then let's see, Jordan's action. Ooh, my Clarkston business license. I need to turn that in, and I would love to do that on Tuesday. I gave myself an hour for that. Is that right? That's about right. They leave for the day. I better do that on Wednesday because they leave for the day like around 5 o'clock, and I have a meeting at 4. I don't have 2 hours before I can get that done. So I'm going to do that on Wednesday then. So Wednesday between 1, 3, there we are. So that'll get done there. Matcha photos and banana photos. I tried to do that tonight, but my tool is acting up. So I'll try that again. I said an hour for each, which really shouldn't take an hour for each of those. But that's fine. So I'll plan to do that tomorrow before the city council meeting, 4:35, 6. That's good. Matcha photos and banana photos. Pink, great. Then at that point, do I have all my A's done? Oh, Jordan's action items, which I need to get done. 2 hours for Jordan. That is so true. So, between 1 and 3. Why do I keep doing that? Okay, that's fine. Jordan's action items. Okay. Alrighty, then at that point, I think all of my A's are done. Let's see. I do have time legitimately to get something else done on Thursday. Let's see if there's anything else I want to get done on Thursday. I don't have the B's. My SAM registration would be good. I need to do I would like to do my passion roadmap and my foundation purpose. See, all these things I really want to do. I want to do that, especially since I carry that over from this week. So I'm going to put that down here. Passion roadmap, and I will do that there. So say between 3 and 5. I swear I have trouble figuring this out. Say 3 is here, and there we are. Okay, so passion roadmap. And so, it's just my passion planners roadmap page just to go through my 2024 and beyond roadmap that I've already put together, but I put it in the passion planners format. I really, really like their format. So passion planner roadmap. Okay, we'll do that. So that's cool. And that will be that. And the rest of those can just carry over, but at least I'll have all my A's done. So I feel good about that. And you guys see like these meetings that I have here. So I have mom's oral surgery appointment. Mom's oral surgery appointment is at 2 o'clock. I'm going to try to get there 15. I'm going to get there 15 minutes early. That's why the star is there. My city council meeting at 6:30. I'll get there 15 minutes early. Alice's gymnastics, which I got her late last week and I felt awful. So I will be back. I will be on time for that. And the media day for Urban Honors, I'll be there 15 minutes early. And my trim, I'll be there 15 minutes early. And the actual Urban Honors award ceremony, I'll be there 15 minutes early for that too. So I feel really great about this, you guys. And I'm excited to show this to Sydney as well. So I've done all the things that I have planned to do. Yay!
Hello. Happy Tuesday. I thought it would be really cool if I kind of checked in with you throughout the day to kind of confirm how long things take me. So let's take a look at my planner and see what's going on. Okay, so to start off the day, I actually got a little bit of a late start, so I started everything at 10. So emails, I finished doing that, and I also ordered the hoodie, and altogether I was done with this around 10:30, which is what time it is now. So it's really cool to know that both of these things are pretty much checked off of my list, which I can check off now. And both of these things took me roughly 15 minutes. Honestly, I probably borrowed some minutes from the hoodie stuff for the email stuff because the emails actually took me a little bit longer to do than I expected today. But yeah, so now instead of working at 10 a.m., I'll be working from 10:30 to 12:30, and we'll see if I can get some thumbnails and mood board done for this piece and see if it actually fits into the time zone or if I have any extra time left. Hello. It's currently 12:30 and I got my mood board done and I got a good amount of thumbnail sketches done too. I think I might need a little bit extra time to just draft up more ideas because I haven't really come up with something that I love, which I just feel like takes time. But since it's 12:30, I'm gonna go ahead and just start my lunch break. I ordered some food this time around, so it should be arriving around 12:30. And yeah, I guess I'll catch up with you guys around 1:30 for the next thing. A little update. So it is currently 2:30. I ended up spending 12:30 to 1:30 just working some more on my thumbnails since my lunch ended up coming late. It came at 1:30, so that's when I ended up taking my break between 1:30 and 2:30. And so now that it's 2:30, I'm about to work on another project and just generating some thumbnails for that. And my goal is to be done with that by 4:30, which I don't think is going to take me too much time, hopefully. And then on top of that, I'm going to hopefully get my invoice, send that out for one of the projects that I recently finished, just to get that out the way. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well. And yeah. I would like to note that since I ended up spending an extra hour working on those thumbnails, that in the future, I think I want to at least give myself a 3-hour gap in a day to work on mood boards and thumbnails for new projects, just because that ideation stage is always a part that's going to take a little bit longer because you're coming up with ideas and seeing the full potential of the project. So yeah, but this was a really cool learning experience, and so far I am enjoying tracking my time. It's a little bit intimidating because I'm realizing I take a long time to get things done, but this is great because it's going to help me be more realistic about what I do plan in a day. All right, now it's time to get on to that next task. Hello, I feel like this is going to be my final update for the day. It is currently 4:02, I think, and I think I'm pretty much done for the day. Only thing I didn't do was submit an invoice, and that was only because I really want to make sure that my client's happy with it before I go ahead and send out the invoice. But I managed to still answer some emails, and I got my thumbnails done, which is just to show you the range of how long it can take me to do thumbnails. It just depends on the projects. I think having a 3-hour range is probably good for me because then maybe that's like the max amount of time or something. But yeah, I was really happy. I finished my sketches pretty fast, and I think like a 10 to 4, 6 hours of working is pretty good. So yeah, I might get some more work done later on tonight, but it was really cool timing how long it takes me. So to wrap things up, I would say that answering emails and doing admin stuff at the beginning of the day usually takes me about 30 minutes. At least that's how long it took today, and that was longer than usual. And then I would say that doing mood board and thumbnail stuff will take me between 1.5 to 3 hours to do, so I know to block that out in a day. And then even today I gave myself a good lunch period, which was really nice. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. But thank you for joining me as I figure out how long it takes me to do things. I feel like it's gonna help me figure out other parts of my schedule. And I think I'm going to keep on timing myself throughout the rest of the week just so I can know how long it takes me to do sketches, color studies, etc. But if you're at home, I would totally give this a shot, just timing your daily activities and seeing how long it takes you, because then it'll be extra helpful. And even though it's tedious at first, it'll become super self-explanatory, I feel like, in the end. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.
All right, so let's talk about this week. How was it for you? The changes that do you want to review the changes that you made, how you felt about it?
So the main change that I decided to make, and I feel like with this change, there's more changes to be made. You know what I mean? I feel like planning for me is going to be a journey that goes further than just like a few days. But the change that I did was I started timing my activities to see how long those would actually take me.
Truly.
And I realized that I need to definitely give myself a lot more time to get things done. I think it'll also help because I also get that anxiety of like, I think we talked about it in the video, anxiety of like not feeling I have enough time and kind of like my internal voice panicking, being like, we don't have enough time. You know what I mean? That kind of self-sabotaging, you know what I mean? So I know that I need to give myself like plenty of time. Like yesterday, I was doing a lot of like thumbnail sketching, some for your banner and some for some client work that I'm doing. And it was funny. The one for like my client work actually took me a lot longer than what would take than how long it takes me to do some stuff for you. So it kind of showed how much it can vary depending on like the project and stuff. Some of your concepts are a lot easier to come up with ideas for than someone else's idea. You know what I mean? And I think it's also different.
We've worked together for a while.
Yeah. So I kind of know what we'll both kind of like.
Right.
But when it comes to a client, it could be very specific.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it is like, you know, when you work with somebody at least once before, you kind of know that they like your style, they, you know, and stuff like that. So I need to give myself definitely like a range of like an hour and 30 minutes to 4 hours to do like mood board and ideation. Because I know that for me, it took me like, for you, it took me like an hour and 30 minutes to get that done. But for my client, it took me like 3 hours to get that done. You know what I mean?
Were they both the same like kind of project? Because it was a logo.
For you, so not the logo, it was the banner for your build, for the new beginnings. Yeah. And I already had some ideas. For the other one, it was actually like this praying mantis illustration.
Oh, yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, so like that one is a little bit more
involved.
Well, I didn't realize how hard it is to draw a praying mantis. They're so mechanical, and then like, you know, then finding what angles I actually like of the praying mantis, and she wanted in a certain pose. So it's like,
that looks cool though.
I think it like once I actually, because those are thumbnail sketches, so what I like to do is, you know, narrow those down and then like do 3 refined sketches to sort of decide what I want to do. So I feel like once I get to the refined ones, it will definitely look cool. And I definitely have some cool ideas, but after doing a praying mantis in one pose, it's like, you want to have some variety. So that was just a little bit different, especially again, it's not you, it's a client. So it's like, you want to be extra, right? So that they become like you, they come again.
Right. Yeah. Got it. Okay. So and maybe that's it too, like a new client, you understand. Maybe I guess several factors. Of course, it's the nature of the project that they're asking, but also there's a new client or a repeating customer because, you know, you want to put a little bit more effort in because you don't quite understand. You know, you don't have that rapport with them yet, I guess.
Yeah, and also the subject matter, because I never drew a praying mantis before.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've never looked at one so closely before until now.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think, like, if she asked for a portrait or, like, you know what I mean? Or I've had ones where people are like, these are the kind of things that I want to have, but you do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Those will go a lot faster than me doing something that I've never done before, which is amazing. I'm excited, but like, you know, that also plays a part too of like how, because for you, it's like, I'm familiar with your products. I'm familiar with like, it has to do with the human form. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's some aspects that I am comfortable with and that make it go faster.
Cool. All right. So your main takeaway was to give yourself more time, especially when you're unfamiliar with either the customer or the subject matter or
and things like that. And then I'm gonna time the rest of the process for like both yours and for hers this week, just to see how it all goes down. So just so I can always have it written down somewhere, like this is usually how long it takes me to do this, and this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then also, like we were talking about, I'm not sure how you do. So I'm curious to watch your vlog too, to see how you did that. Because at the time of this recording, I'm not seeing your vlog. So how you do the revisions, because you don't know how many revisions there are gonna be. So how do you plan for those?
Oh, so luckily, like what I did, because like for this week, I just told the client, hey, I'm gonna have the sketches done for you, like the tight sketches done for you by the end of the week, because I didn't want it to be, which is why I'm able to give myself a little bit more time to get the sketch
day though.
So
no, like, okay, so you told her you can give her the sketch, got it, by the end of the week, and then you'll get her feedback and you can plan.
And hopefully get
next week.
Yes. So hopefully, because she's been very good at responding so far, like it might take her a couple days max.
Yeah.
So far. So I'm thinking over the weekend, because she's responded over the weekend before.
Okay.
That, you know what I mean? I'll be able to.
And I think what we've talked about a little bit before too, make sure you give her a deadline on when she should respond. And that way that will help you be able to know when you can plan for your next week. Because you don't want to send her the sketches like on Friday, whatever. And then on Sunday or on Friday, you actually plan your week for the next week. So you wouldn't have planned any time to do her revisions.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you give her a deadline on when she should respond. That way you can incorporate those revisions into the week.
Yeah. I think and since I already set it up to where like I was the one who was like, I'll do it on the end of the week. Yeah. It'll be fine to like, for me to go in on Monday and be like, boop, here we go. Let me just fit this in. You know what I mean? Or plan on Sunday instead of Friday.
Yeah.
So I mean, I did it. Like I was the one who was like, that's when I'm gonna have it to use. I don't want to like.
But going forward, how will you do that though? Because
I'll have to just have it done by. Oh yeah, I don't. It's weird because I don't want to like rush people. Either I'll wait until either I have to work faster and like I would have had to get them done by today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What, just to get a response by Friday?
Right. But okay, so in an ideal work, because you were kind of learning how to plan while doing this work for this customer.
Yeah.
But going forward, because you like to do your planning and I am projecting my own way, so you tell me if it's different. But going forward, because you like to plan for your entire week on Friday, then ideally you would like to be delivering the final product or the deliverable to your customer like on Wednesday, I guess, so that you can get feedback by Thursday, Friday-ish, so that you can plan for next week. Was that what you're thinking going forward?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like you said, like since right now I'm trying to figure out how long it takes me to do each one. And that's why I kind of like split each sketch into a singular day, if that makes sense. Like today I'm doing one tight sketch. If I feel like doing another one, I'll do another one and like time it. But the point is for me to give myself enough time and see how much it will vary for me to do these tight sketches and for me to get them done.
Yeah.
So that I know in the future, okay, if I want to get 3 tight sketches done in a day, how long do those range? You know what I mean? Like, is it like, do I need to give myself a whole day just to sketch? Or do I need to give, like, so I guess that's kind of what was going on in my head, if that makes sense. But what do you think?
Yeah, so I think that part,
because in that
good,
way,
because that way, so what you've done right now is you've kind of planned the initial work and how long they'll say. I guess next week you'll also be able to time the revision, to write the coloring and like the final stuff and all that. But once you have all of those estimates, then you'll be able to know how long something usually takes as well. But also what I'm trying to help you do, and it's just because I don't like to deal with a lot of changes to my plan during the week, but maybe you're more accommodating than I am. Like once my week is set in stone, I like on Sunday when I plan for the week, I really don't like like maybe I'll set like 10% changes through the week, but it's kind of set, and anything else that comes up, I'm pushing it to the next week.
Got it.
For me. So if I were you, I would be trying to get the list of revisions that she wants by Friday, so that when I plan on Sunday, I can incorporate those into the next week.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And that makes a lot of sense. Like, I feel like I should have.
It's a learning experience.
Yeah, it is a learning experience. I think talking about it also makes it make more sense. Because, yeah, I think it would make sense to, like, since that's when at least having it before the weekend.
Having it before the weekend, and that's when you plan.
And doing it on Wednesday kind of guarantees that a little bit more.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, so maybe that'd be helpful.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So that was the biggest task that you had to do, was timing. So you found it beneficial because
I did, because like even yesterday, like because what I did was just like a bunch of check-ins. It wasn't anything crazy. It was just like, oh well, now it's 12:30 and this is what I got done, you know. But let's see. So Alex was, my little sister, she was home from school that day.
Yeah.
And she comes into my room around like 12:30 or 12:15, like, I'm hungry. Are you hungry? Because she's hungry. And so I ordered a pizza.
That's where the pizza came from.
Yeah. And so I was planning on taking my break from 12:30 to 1:30, but the pizza didn't end up coming until, cause I think Marco's, the place that we normally order from, was closed that day, but it wasn't showing on Uber Eats. So anyway, like, so I ended up ordering from Papa John's, but that didn't end up coming until 1:30. So I ended up, like, my schedule kind of like got switched around a little bit just by like little things happening. I don't know, but I thought that was interesting too, how that works. Like, nothing really ever goes as planned. Right. Yeah, like my lunch break was at 1:30 instead of 12:30 like planned. But
got it.
Yeah.
Cool. So overall, you feel good about the exercise?
I think so. I think it's gonna help with me, like, not overloading my days too much. You know what I mean? Just really being as accurate as possible. I think it will help a lot with, like, just my anxiety too. You know?
And I think what we should do for the next episode, if you're okay with it too, I think we should follow through with this all the way through and show the whole process, because I didn't get a chance to actually finish everything I want to do either. So it could definitely be a part 2, because I would love to see how the timing of the rest of your process goes, including the revisions. And then if you're able to change how you plan, and then change the communication with your customer to give them a deadline, like that whole process of how that works, and if that makes a difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I think
that
I would benefit from that personally too.
Yeah, and then that way we can show our viewers the entire finished product, which I think would be cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So can you talk about me? So I really enjoy the parts that I put into place. What's interesting is I realized that I don't really read my sidebar or my planner very much.
Wait, so, the one like the bottom?
So on the side of my planner, I have kind of my goals for the week, things I want to get done. And I realized that after I plan my whole week, because I have a goal for each day, that's more what I look at. I more look at my goal for each day and the task and the meetings that I have for that day. I don't really go back to that little side panel that has like my quote of the week and good things that happen, which I need to be more intentional about populating that throughout the week. And then at the top, it has like my goal for the week. Okay. Because in my goal for the week, that's when I had that I should be timing each task, which I've been forgetting to do.
Oh, no.
So I realized that I forgot to do that. But that wasn't like my most important thing that I needed to do, but that's definitely something. So that's why I want to do a part 2 of this, so that I can do that part and show how everything works when I am doing all that. Yeah. But anyhow, the parts that I did put into place were super enlightening. So the first thing I had to do was make sure that I'm prioritizing honestly, and because I'm an ambitious person. And so I was making my B's, which should be, things that I would like to get done. I was making those A's, a lot of those A's, things that have to get done. And then, of course, I was running out of time and then feeling bad because I didn't get those done and letting them roll over. But the reason I let them roll over with a good conscience, because I know they really didn't have to get done.
Like, they were B's.
They were B's. So I was more honest with myself this week and only made the A's A's. So, of course, I have a lot fewer of those. The B's were really B's, things I really wanted to get done. And then the C's, like I noted in my blog that last week I didn't have any C's. Like everything was A's or B's. And that is not true. So this week I honestly had some C's, which were, it would be cool to do this at some point. So I had A's, B's, and C's, honestly. So that was super helpful. And then what else did I do? So that was great. Oh, getting places 15 minutes ahead of time, being early for events. That has been helpful. As you see, I was early for our podcast.
I saw you were up here.
I was ready at 8:30 for our 9 o'clock meeting.
Very good.
Yes, and I'm really enjoying it. And what is helping me is, instead of just saying it's arbitrary, get there early, but saying specifically get there 15 minutes early is helping me out a lot. Because when I got home from taking Alice to school, it was like 8:15. So I normally would have gone upstairs to watch some TV, hung around, play some chess or whatever, and then start getting ready at like 8:45, right? But because I knew that I had to be ready at 8:45, then I immediately went in the shower and started getting ready. So that's helped hold me accountable. And plus, dangling the treat of you get to play chess in that buffer time is super helpful. So that's so if I do get somewhere early to have those extra minutes, that's when I get to play chess, which has been helpful, because one game of chess that often leads to another game of chess, which is why I end up getting late for things or don't have time for my devotional or whatever, because I'm just playing chess. But isolating chess into those specific little 15-minute slots has been super helpful too.
That's really good. Yeah. And you feel good about playing.
I feel great about it. And so as a result, I've been on time this week, a lot more than I've ever been on time. I've done every task done this week in a reasonable amount of time.
Do you feel like you've also had extra time for yourself because you prioritized?
Also, I timed my nighttime routine.
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing, because in my head, it would take me 15 to 20 minutes to get ready with. And so my nighttime routine is brushing my teeth for 2 minutes solid, flossing, tying up my hair, and taking my vitamins. In my head, that was going to take me 15 to 20 minutes. In actuality, it took me 6. And so because of that, what happened yesterday, I got home from our small group and, ready to just get in the bed, tired, whatever, after eating. But instead of doing that, I'm like, I have 6 minutes, and so I was able to get everything in my nighttime routine. I did skip it.
Yeah.
But the one I want to go back and do is to time my tasks.
Okay.
Because like on Monday's when I really catch up from the weekend on checking social media and checking my emails. And because that's a consistent task every Monday, it'll be super helpful to know how long that actually takes. Because for both of those items, I budget an hour. And I think email takes longer and social takes shorter. So it averages out okay. But I want to know exactly how long
each one takes.
Yeah. So I can plan better.
Yeah.
But overall, I am super happy with these changes. And I would say that it's been a New Year's resolution of mine to be on time for like the past 5 years. And it's been so frustrating because it's to the point where I don't think I even made it a resolution last year, because I realized it was just hopeless. But this is the first time that it's actually stuck.
Have you been planning, have you been using your peak times and your not so peak times?
Yes, thank you. Like whoever got something. Yeah, so what I did in my Calendly, I blocked out the afternoons. They can only schedule meetings in the morning. And I'm going to gradually move my other meetings as much as possible to the mornings also.
Okay.
So, but even this week, just as I'm beginning to do that, being intentional about that has been very helpful.
Yeah.
Because I get into that flow, I'm able to knock out those tasks.
Yeah. Yeah. And then again, it's so much easier to just do the same things all at one time.
All at one time.
Whether it is meetings or just like regular tasks.
Right. Yeah, so I am so pleased.
I'm so proud. You did so much.
I did so much, but it feels so good. It feels so good and productive.
It does. I think it does. It's relieving when you are able to sort of like see.
Yeah, see something actually works, right?
Yeah, and know why it's working.
And know why it's working.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I'm repeating after you. But yes, I really want to pick up that lady's book too. I'm going to do that. I know we put the link of it in the first part of this episode, but I'm going to go pick it up because I'm curious to see
if there's any more tips, because that was just a summary.
That was so good. And if she has any other books too, because these have been so effective, they're so quickly effective.
Yeah.
I would like to check out her other books as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we're cool.
This is so great. It's just, so for us, it's January 17th. I'm not sure when this is going to record, but this is really great to have time management. Not that it's completely figured out, but be on the right path and having it figured out this early in the year because it kind of sets the stage for the rest of the year. So I'm excited for us. I'm excited for our viewers too, if they're able to put some of these tips into place. And you guys definitely put in the comments if you do get a chance to try out any of these tips, the ones that worked for you, the ones that didn't work for you, if you have other tips.
Or if you read the article and know what type of person, what type of late person you are, because that was cool.
Was my great. So I'm a producer, and what was the other one?
I'm the professor.
You're the professor.
Yeah.
Right?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. It was so good.
It was.
Yeah, this is good. So yeah, you guys share which type you are, tips you try, how they worked, any ones that you have for us and for our community, so that we can all just make sure that we are starting this year off in the most productive way possible, but without stressing ourselves out. That's the key, right? So you want to get into that flow, make it easy, get your shit done so that you have time to spend time with family and on yourselves and all that good stuff. It's all about balance, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because when I finished doing my task, which I finished around like 4 o'clock or so.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, it was really great because it was like a 10 to 4. That was a really solid chunk of time to be productive. And well, it was really cool to think, wow, I actually have time to maybe work on something that I want to do or like whatever, whether it's like a hobby or like working on a personal project.
Right.
But it was really cool to see that.
Really good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So we'll continue this next episode with part 2 of planning and see how it, and let's put a bow on it.
Put a bow on it.
Thank you for listening to Leaf Notes. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and drop a like and a comment letting us know what your takeaway was. And if you're just listening, head over to social media after taking a screenshot and tag us letting us know what your takeaway was. If you want to give us a rating, head over to your favorite podcast app and give us a 5-star rating or let us know what you think. This will help us connect with more business owners and creatives just like you. And with that being said, we hope that your business takes root and grows, and we'll see you next time.